Hey everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here, and we're doing another Swiss Magic Origins draft. Alright, we open Herald of the Pantheon Foil and Infinite Obliteration. The price on this is only 0.5 tickets. Yes, the foil one too. So, not enough where I really care. It's an okay card. I think I probably want Anchored to the Ether or Seismic Elemental. They're standing out as a little more awesome. Anchored to the Ether is very good. I mean, Seismic Elemental is really good too. I think I'm going to actually go Elemental. I think they're both really good though. That's a tough pick. I just like that this basically is a big threat that makes all your guys unblockable potentially in one turn. It just seems like so good. Okay, strongest card here I think is probably the Free Blade. I could just take the Scout and stay on color with the Seismic Elemental, but it's probably early enough where I just want to pick the strongest cards and see if that pans out better. Honored Hierarch is not worth anything, and it's only okay because it's a 1-mana 1/1. It does have Renown, but it's a 1-mana 1/1. I'm going to take the Free Blade, I think. It's a pretty strong card in general. Good common. Like I said, I could just take the Scout, stay on color, get a 2-drop with my first pick, but I'm just going to take strongest cards for a while until we see what's wheeling and stuff like that. Okay. Strongest card here. Well, Enshrouding Mist is a good trick. Protects against burn spells as well as, well, just good in combat situations. There's Prickle Boar. Usually higher end guys are a little bit easier to get, but a 5-mana 5/3 first strike on your turn is not bad. Rock Smaller is of course good. Rock Smaller might just be the best pick in the pack. I mean, it's certainly better than Prickle Boar. Enshrouding Mist is a very good trick though. I'm trying to think how good of a trick Enshrouding Mist is. It's a pretty good one. It is a pretty good one. Basically just any sort of creature combat situation it at least protects you in. I'll go with the Mist on this one. I've got a decent feeling about it. Okay, so Lightning Javelin in the red. Fleshbag Marauder is of course good. Cobble Brute's a good card. Works very well with the Elemental. Good turn progression on that one. Another Enshrouding Mist. I probably just want the Javelin. This card has been underperforming, though. I'm not gonna deny that, but I still want to believe that Lightning Javelin is a good card since it can both burn face or creatures, and it scries. I don't know why it reads so much better than it's played, but that seems to have been the case so far. But I'm still gonna take it here. Okay, Cobble Brute now, perhaps. There is an Anointer though. Anointer is pretty good. It's another one of those cards that just makes. I think I probably want just Anointer. It's one of those cards that just makes combat situations potentially really difficult for your opponent. Where it's like they don't have good blocks. Like with Free Blade or any other Renown guy for that matter. Where it's like you just attack. They don't have a good block. If they do block, you get to pump. Cobble Brute's very good though, like I said with the Elemental. But I'm going to go with the Anointer here. Okay, this is kind of an awkward pack. Nothing insane for us here. We could just take the Active Treason. Cut red. Best card is probably Starfish. Probably. Gorger's in here too. Could just take a 6th pick Starfish. Maybe, I mean, Active Treason is not a terribly exciting pick here at all. It's a fine card. It's probably really good in red-white, but usually not main deckable, I wouldn't think. Otherwise, there's a fatty in Vastwood Gorger. I'll take the Starfish. Maybe that's a sign blue's open. Okay. Couple decent white cards. I mean, Grasp is good in the white aggro deck. I probably just want Aeronaut, though. Could be, yeah, could be I'm supposed to be in blue. All right. I'll take the Aeronaut. Some decent late black cards here. Maybe I just want the Epiphany. It's got good synergy with Aeronaut. There's a Rogue's Passage as well. I'll take the Epiphany. I think Imp's definitely the best card remaining in this pack, but I'll still go Epiphany. It could be something I want. Okay, Anchor tabling is pretty insane, actually. It's better than Disperse, I think. Even though it's sorcery speed, being able to scry and take away their draw step can be potentially huge. There is a Ring Warden Owl, but I think Anchor is actually better than that. So we'll take the Anchor. All right. Looks like we're supposed to be in blue. I'm fine taking Bone to Ash here. I mean, Hydrolash is actually okay too, but I think Bone to Ash is going to be better if we pick up some more instant speed spells as well. I like Water Courser way more than Dismissal. Definitely blue's open, so I'm glad we went with the Starfish. I'll take the Maritime Guard. It doesn't seem like a card I'm going to want, at least not want main deck. All right, I'll take the Drake. Certainly a playable blue card. Well, we're in the right color in blue. It seems like white or red, we can go either way. I'm fine going either way. Slightly more powerful white than red, I think. Although, no, they're probably even. I mean, we just have one more white card than red, but... So all we know is blue's open, and that's good that we, jumped in it in pack one. So I think we're going to get some good free reign on that with the next couple packs. But now the decision is, ooh, well, there's a Jessian Thief. Despite blue being open, I don't know if I want to hope to wheel Jessian Thief and maybe just take it here. There's a Separatist Void Mage too, which is very good, but I actually think Thief is just a really strong card. Like, if you can find a way to draw cards every turn, just a couple turns with it, and the fact that it's got prowess, it's just such a strong card. I'm going to take it over the Void Mage. I actually think Void Mage it's a really close pick, but because Thief is uncommon, I'm less likely to see another one. And like I said, just drawing cards, even one turn of it is so good. But put a Stratus Walk on this, which, given how open blue is, I think is very likely. And I think Jessian Thief, and maybe we wheel a Water Courser. Probably not wheel the Void Mage, but there's a chance. Wow. Well, I'd say that's the sign to go into white. This card is very strong. Very, very strong rare. At that point, I mean, I think we just commit to blue-white. Stalwart Avon in here as well, and a Throwing Knife, both of which are good. But yeah, irregular. Awesome. Anointer works really well with the Thief too, actually. That's kind of cool. So, strong looking, definitely a strong looking base here so far. Wow, War Oracle, another good white card. Certainly more powerful than Knight of Pilgrim's Road, I would think. And Charging Griffin's just kind of underwhelming in general. Eyeblight Massacre is a strong black card here. We're going to take War Oracle. It's one more mana, but lifelink is huge. And a 4/4 lifelink would be pretty insane. So, War Oracle it is. Wow. Past a Whirler Rogue. Slam dunk in this card. Super strong card. Insane with Jessian Thief. Very happily picking this up. Maybe we even wheel Disperse. I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility by any stretch. All right. We'll take Knight of the Pilgrim's Road here. 3-drop Renown seems slightly more exciting than Screeching Scab. Who knows? Maybe we wheel Screeching Scab. It didn't seem like anybody was in blue. So, Knight here is a Tactician too, but I think actually Knight, we're kind of good on 4-drops at the moment. All right, wow. Having said that, and then we open this. Actually, the problem with Wyvern in this deck is we don't have a lot of flyers. We have Scrapskin Drake and Aeronaut. Well, actually, Aeronaut's pretty insane with it. There is a Suppression Bonds, though, and our removal is lacking. We pretty much have a Combat Trick, a Anchor to the Ether, and that's it. But Wyvern, I mean, Wyvern is a very strong card. Like, the problem is I want to run Wyvern and Bone to Ash together. It just seems so nice to be able to leave up a counterspell, cantrip, or you know, a lord for your flyers. It just seems like I'm going to want the Wyvern. Suppression Bonds, like I said, is very good, but Wyvern is very good too. And I just don't think we're going to wheel it because there's just not enough cards left in that pack. Jeez. Anointer again? Or Topin Freeblade, or Celestial Flare. All sorts of good cards in here. I actually don't know what's stronger, the Freeblade or the Anointer. I mean, it seems like multiple Anointers is just going to be bonkers. But Freeblade, you can't deny the power of Freeblade. Anointer just makes your attacks so good. Like, I think I want Anointer. It just seems like such a good one-drop. It turns on your Jessian Thief, too. Like, in such a good way. I'm going to take Anointer. I don't know necessarily if that's right. I just have a good feeling about it. All right, we'll take the Scab here, which is just fine. Heavy Infantry. Actually, Water Courser wheeling is just fantastic. Really happy about that. Our deck is really coming together nicely here. Oromancer bringing back nothing. I guess probably Send to Sleep then. Yes, this card got an F with Channel Fireball, but I still like it. Night of the Pilgrim's End. Yeah, we'll take the second one. I'm okay with that. 3 drops are always going to be good. We did end up tabling the Disperse, which I'll take. Having one of those is nice. Hydrolash seems... I don't even think we're playing the first Deep Sea Terror. Hydrolash, on the other hand, seems like pretty unlikely to play it, to be honest, but I'll consider it. Artificer's Epiphany only has 2 ways to turn it on at the moment. I don't think I want to do it for that reason. I really don't think it's a good card if you don't have artifacts. Drawing 2, discarding... I mean, you're basically drawing 2, and then but you're using Epiphany and you're discarding a card, which I just think is significantly worse. So right now it seems like I probably don't want to do the Epiphany. We've got a deck already, which is great. And I've got a pretty good feeling about these Anointers. I want more creatures to support them. The Anointers just seem absolutely fantastic with your Renown guys. And we have a good amount of Renown at the moment too, which is nice. And the Whirler Rogue, I mean, Whirler Rogue, once again, very good with Renown as well. Wow, what's this do? Foil Mythic. At the end of your upkeep, return target enchantment card from your graveyard to the battlefield as long as you control 5 or more enchantments. I gotta look up what a foil Mythic is worth. Well, fancy that. The website I'm picking is down right now, so thankfully I'm not giving up. Well, I am giving up a Scab Goliath, but I'm going to take this foil Mythic and hope that it's worth something because it's a foil Mythic. Even if it's worth a ticket, it's a Swiss draft, but I wish the website didn't go down that I was checking. Outland Colossus is an insanely strong card. Scab Goliath would be a PTQ first pick, but foil Mythic, I got to assume it's worth something. Claustrophobia seems like an excellent pickup here. We're short on removal. And there's really nothing else on color for us, so seems like a great pickup. I'm kind of feeling like we're likely to cut Bone to Ash, but our curve is actually relatively low. Maybe I cut the Artificer's Epiphany first. I'm trying to think if Starfield works with the Claustrophobia. It doesn't work that well with it, unless your opponent's got removal for Claustrophobia, but whatever. Graveblade Marauder, definitely a good card. We might just hate something here. There's actually nothing on color. I think I'm actually more fearful of the Invocation. That's a really strong top-end green card. So we're gonna take the Invocation. There's just nothing on color that I care about in there, oddly enough. Bonnet Construct seems actually, well, it doesn't work that well with Anointer, unfortunately. But then again, once again, there's nothing in here I really care about. I don't have enough artifacts to support Ram Roller, and I don't like that it has to attack each turn. Could just take the Calculated Dismissal, actually. Might actually be okay. I'd rather do Dismissal, I think, than... Well, I can do Dismissal and Bone Dash, maybe. All right. It's not a great card. It feels like it's probably better than Construct overall. Maybe I cut the Hydrolash, although Hydrolash is fine. Enshrouding Mist seems like a card I'm probably going to want. I don't think Despoiler's worth anything. Once again, it seems like someone jumped into our colors late. Maybe they opened like a... Or else it could be that this pack just doesn't have anything in our colors, which is also a possibility. But we'll take the second Enshrouding Mist over the Negate. We already have a couple... Ooh, well, there you go. There's a white card we're looking... Or a blue card, rather, we're looking for. So I'll take the Separatist Void Mage here. I already have to make some cuts. Maybe Send to Sleep. I'm fine cutting, probably. We do have a lot of 4 drops, but since we don't have any 5 or 6 drops, I'm okay with having a bunch of 4 drops. I actually don't think that's a big problem. I mean, would I not feel comfortable running 17 lands if my curve looked like this? I still would be. So I think having a bunch of 4 drops actually doesn't matter if you don't have a lot of 5 and 6 drops, which we don't. So I'm just going to slam Separatist Void Mage here, which I certainly think is better than the Griffin. Suppression Bonds versus Watercourser. Well, we're kind of good on creatures, but Watercourser is a fantastic one, no doubt. We do have 2 Watercoursers already. It's not like a third one would be an issue, but Suppression Bonds is pretty nice removal, actually. I may just want the removal here. I do love me some Watercourser, but I'm going to take the bonds here. I think removal is going to be better. Aeronaut or another Anchor to the Ether. Wow. These are just some fantastic picks here. I think we're probably cutting the counterspells now. We're like at the point where we actually have better removal than I'd rather just run the removal rather than the counterspell. Aeronaut versus Anchor to the Ether. I don't mind running another Anchor. I don't mind running another Aeronaut either, though. Aeronaut's going to work better with our Thunderclap Wyvern. Anchor's just good tempo removal. I think I'm going to actually go Aeronaut. I've got a good feeling with the Thunderclap Wyvern. None of these cards matter. I guess we'll take Barrier, but doesn't seem likely to play it. Could have taken the Alchemist, whatever, but we're already looking for a cut, so I just don't think that's happening. We've got a great looking deck, though. I don't even know what I'm cutting at this point. Here I'm going to hate a Thopter Engineer because it's just by far the best card. None of these cards matter. I guess I'll just take a Return Centaur. It could be good against us, maybe. All right, got Construct back. Not super likely to play it, to be honest, but all right. Rebuttal. Yeah, I just don't think we're playing that. Sure. Murder Investigation. Hopefully this Foil Mythic's worth something. It's not a very good card, but I just figured because it's a Foil Mythic, it's got to have a little bit of value. So we only need to make one more cut, and I think I'm pretty comfortable running a 17 land deck that tops out at 4. We do have a lot of 4. But like I said, if I had like 4... Like, I'll show you another curve that I would still be comfortable running 17 lands with, probably. Like, let's say I had 4 4-drops and like 3 5-drops and a 6-drop. This curve would look just fine with 17 lands. So I don't see any reason I shouldn't be running 17 lands topping out at 4. I still think that's fine. Screeching Scab almost strikes me as the weakest card in our deck. The problem with cutting Screeching Scab is we just don't have a lot going on early, but I might still be comfortable cutting it. Like, I kind of like the idea of cutting Screeching Scab and sideboarding into like Bonded Construct and Screeching Scab and Maritime Guard against some hyper aggro, and we can cut back on our slower 4-drop spells. Like maybe we can ditch a Suppression Bonds if we're playing against a bunch of like 1 and 2 drops. But having Suppression Bonds against like the bomby green decks seems better. Granted, we don't have a lot going on early, but I kind of like what we have going on early. The Anointers and the Free Blade is very good, and Shrouding Mist seems very good in this deck as well. We have a very good creature count. I could see an argument for cutting the Scrapskin Drake since it can't block for maybe a Scab, just so we have another 2-drop. But the Drake works better with our Wyvern, which I kind of like. We are short enough on flyers where I want to get as much value off Wyvern as possible. But Whirler Rogue's going to be insane with it for sure. Double Aeronaut is going to be very good with it as well. It's a nice looking deck. I think I'm comfortable with this. Our curve is a bit awkward, but I think it's fine. Like every card we have besides, I'd say at this point, like our weakest card is probably Scrapskin Drake, which is like a pretty good sign if a 2/3 flyer is your worst card. 2/3 for 3. But the disadvantage on Scrapskin is actually a kind of annoying disadvantage. I think Sigiled Starfish is really nice for this deck, giving us early blockers and finding us lands if we're having problems with that. I got to run it like this, I think. This is just a really nice looking deck. So we want to do as even as possible. We have 2 double blue, 2 double white. So I guess we go 9/8 blue, which is what they say as well. Yeah, really nice looking deck. We'll see how it plays for us. Good sideboard options. All right. We'll run it like this, and we'll see you round 1.